on YouTube there. I'm doing this live. I'm doing this live on Facebook as well as all right. I think multiple sclerosis. I'm doing this live. So welcome to MS Live there. And I'm your host, Dulci Hill. And this is a forum where you help each other. You help each other by typing, let me see, by typing or a chat there. So if you have a question or if you have a comment there, you can support each other this way. Again, MS Live is your channel and I only host. Over here, I've got the name of people. If you want to give me your name or if you're on Facebook, message me with your name, your age, the type of MS you have, where you live, and the medication you're on, and I will include you in my prayer list there. Again, I've had a little bit about me. I've had MS for 34 years. One of the greatest things about having it, active, aggressive MS for this long, is that I'm humbled. I no longer think I have the cure for anything. I used to own a gym, co-own a gym there, and I used to think I had the way through diet, nutrition, and exercise. Now I can honestly say what works for one person doesn't work for another, or may not work for another. So keep that in mind there. You can buy any book on how to cure MS, and people give them to me, and you may follow it to a T. You may eat organic. You may take the vitamins they tell you. There's research behind taking certain supplements that'll keep your brain from shrinking. That it suggests will hone your ability to concentrate. Will give you the best chance at living healthy. But again, uh, a lot of us with MS don't have a lot of money. So affording massage, affording just the total grass-fed beef, the organic, just tons of things that is supposed to put us at our best situation. Anyway, I see over here, and I gotta say hi to you. Apparently, this is on my regular Facebook page. It should be in the private groups because this here is a channel. MS Live is a channel for people with MS there. But people I graduated high school, I see there's some people watching. Lisa, thank you for watching there. But I'll tell you what, I want you to know me for me. Those of you with MS there, if you go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and you look at support system, it'll tell you that we don't necessarily need our friends and our loved ones and our neighbors. We don't need the world to understand what it's like to have MS. What we need is each other. We want people to love us despite us having this disease. It's challenging enough, and I truly think if I love my husband, he will not know what it's like to have MS. I don't want anybody to put on shoes or put on special goggles and know what it's like to have MS. There. And I know there's a lot of you that feel that way too. There. All right, where are my YouTube watchers? There is 30 of you regulars, so I'm waiting for you to come on. Again, hi, Lisa. And if you have any questions about MS, feel free to ask them. All right, Diana, you're here. Diana, yes. Good morning, Diana. All the way from Arizona. So it's 2 hours. Is that correct? 2 hours. Uh, you know what, Lisa? All right, 2 hours earlier there. So it is 9 o'clock. Good morning. I hope you've got, and Calvin's here. God bless you, Calvin. You're here. You're here. Uh, Lisa, whatever. Again, I love that you're well. You're going to be your friend's angel because if you go to msfrontiers.org, you'll see the resources. This MS Live channel will take place every Tuesday and Thursday, and it has from 11 to 12, and it's published on YouTube, so you can go back and see the see some of the requests there. All right, I got to put on my glasses because I can't. Oh, you know what? I can. I'll enlarge that. Maybe I can read it there. Okay. Let's see. Uh, we got a new member here in our group there, and that is let's see. You are well welcome. Hi, Jane Fox here. Ritterak. Rachel, you're new, so I'm gonna put you down here. Rachel, if you want to be on this list, this prayer list there, go to the YouTube channel, uh, and you will see. How do you know I fell? Oh, somebody else fell. Okay, we're supporting each other there. Jane Buck is here. Jane, I love you. Welcome. Diana. All right. Rare 77. Your name is Rachel. I need to know how old you are, the type of MS you have, and what medication you are on, and where you live. If you're watching on Facebook, please email me that. Lisa, have your friends go to msfrontiers.org and look at the resources there. Again, I am not the star of this show. It's important you know that. This MS Live is not about me. It's about Josie Ann. Now, I know you've commented before. So, Josie Ann, please give. I know your name. All right. I'm looking for age, type of MS, your home, and the medication you're on. Most people are MS more voyeur. Okay. Uh, uh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm looking at that. Hi, Paul. Paul is my sister-in-law's father, and he's watching. So again, let me know. MS Warriors Way has an MS interview that I'm going to be interviewed tomorrow on his channel, and MS Warrior. What is your name? I didn't put down your name. I think it's David, right? Yeah, I think it's David. Anyway, so talk about the heat. Yesterday in Bel Air, Maryland, it was 93 degrees. People don't know that heat kills people with MS. I walked to get some plants for my garden, and it was in the sun. It was 93 degrees. I had water, and all of a sudden, what happens when with Dennis? Of course, Dennis, I have. Let me just put Dennis. I know you, Dennis. Oh, you know what, Rachel, you can just type what type of MS or whatever. This is no last names. There, it's anonymous that way. I'm the only one that will uh, lose my dignity and tell you everything possible about MS. One of the things that going back to Lowe's, I had my walker filled with plants, and I'm walking there, and all of a sudden, what happens with MS there? All the old damage starts coming back. I can't see. I can't feel my legs. I drop. I have to put the plants on the ground and sit there on my walker, but it's in the sun and it is so hot and humid. I can't see. I can't walk. I'm in trouble. And there was a young man who noticed that I was in trouble, and he decided that he was going to come over and help me check out in front of line. And meanwhile, he packed my walker, and I managed to get out to my mother's car, and all I could do was open the car door and put the keys in. Mom was in Home Depot, or I'm sorry, in Lowe's. Getting in there was too hot to do anything. You know how when you've had MS, as long as I have, there the heat kills. Heat kills, and it kills people with MS because the warmer they get, the less they have the ability to get out of the heat. It was Diana. I'm going to drive to Arizona and get in your pool. I needed a pool. Uh, Thank you, Rachel. Rachel just talked about having relapsing remitting. She's on Ocrevez and she's 51. Um, all right, relapsing. And where do you live, Rachel? That's one more thing. Josie and you, Josette. Okay, this is really good. Okay, so back to me dying. I'm sitting in the car, and I'm hoping I make it there. And what ended up happening, Jane, thank you for Jane Buck is welcoming other people into our group there. So again, I host. So I'm on the front seat. Please forgive me if you have MS because I know you're having difficulty following there. So I'm on the front seat. The air conditioning's on high. I get my water, which the water was ice water when I went in. Now it's warm water. Um, with MS, what should anybody who is in that situation do? Right? Anybody with MS, chime in and type what I should have done in that situation. Because when you start losing everything, you forget what you're supposed to do. What is the quickest way to cool off? Is it getting in the car with the air conditioning? Was that the best way? Or was it the best way to close the door and just wait and drink the warm water? That wasn't the best way. Luckily, a woman who was sitting in a car came over and asked me if she could put my walker and my plant in the back of the car. I'm telling you what, this is what it's meant to have a disease and allow people to be a blessing there. And Diana says what I should have done is brought an insulated water bottle filled with ice, right? Info and Dennis talks a little bit. Dennis has the MS show that I get to be a guest on tomorrow. He talks about inflammation getting worse because of heat. So, all right, what should I have done? I know when I say this, every single one of you are going to say, duh, I should have gotten out of the car, taken my warm water bottle, and poured it over my head, poured it all over my body. I should have done that to cool down just enough. So I wasn't in trouble. I was in trouble. So when my mom came out and joined me there, I told her, she says, are you all right? Are you all right? And I said, that woman, and I point, she's still sitting in her car. I said, she just came over and helped me. me. And she said, can I help you? And it's almost our responsibility to let people help us so they can be our angel. So I let this woman help me. Oh my gosh, I couldn't let her. I needed her to help me. I really needed her to help me, and she did. And when I told my mom, she ran over to the woman when she got to the car to thank the woman. So she got thanked by me. Uh, you know what? Okay, cute black Calvin. No, that's not Calvin. Raymond talks a little bit about a cooling vest. Hi, Richard. Richard's here. Oh my gosh, everybody's rolling in. Gina, I'm waiting for Gina to show up too. Uh, anyway, part of he. I'm sorry. Uh, let's see. Raymond talks about the cooling vest, which, by the way, if you have MS, you can go to the MS Foundation and apply for your free cooling vest. I find that Home Depot has a wet towel. That hi Debbie. You know what? You're up early, Debbie. Well, not as early as you used to be in Washington when you lived in Washington State. Debbie is she runs MS Frontiers Personal Share, and that is a forum where people talk about the emotions. Everything goes there. The emotions that can affect you when you have MS. You know how awful. I think because I barbecued myself or I roasted myself yesterday. I think that again from my mid forgive the dogs obviously want to be in the video. But anyway, from my thighs down are completely numb. I put my hair up there, and this is that messy bun that I told you can get on Amazon there. Actually, my hair is long enough to be a messy bun. But okay, so what happened there? Stop it. My golden retriever, you guys know that. Uh, all right, Diana talked to MS Foundation cooling vest. You can get it free if you go there. Raymond, what I wanted to tell you is that you have to be really careful of the cooling vest. In that, if you put a cooling vest on, you go out and as soon as that thing gets body temperature, your cooling vest now turns into an insulated heat core heater. It just I've had more problems with cooling vests than I have that chamois. If you take a chamois and you get it wet and you roll it up and you put it back in the tube, put it in your refrigerator, then you can you can go out and put it on your shoulders, put it on your head, put it anywhere there, and it'll cool you. Put it so. All right, Diana. Yep, MS. All right, Dennis, who is he runs the MS Warrior. MSAA also has the Association of America. I think they're based out of Cherry Hill as well. My mom worked with a guy whose wife ended up dying of MS there. Cheryl, she was my buddy. Anyway, love you, Cheryl. She's watching now there, and all right. So the heat got to me yesterday. Uh, let's see. Did it get to anyone else? And what happens when you are in an emergency? You're stuck out in the heat like I was. You've got a warm bottle of water, and you don't have a heating. vest, you find yourself in crisis mode. Again, I what should I have done? Since bottom, what should I have done? And I'll pause. By the way, uh, I'm sorry. It's 90 degrees out on this porch there, and it's humid. So I'm doing my best there to make sense. Hi, Sandy. Sandy also doesn't have an MS, but this is obviously on my page, my general page there. And so I should turn it off there. But welcome. But this here is a forum, MS Live, Multiple Sclerosis Live. Again, it's your channel there. All right. Um, how many people have a chamois? I know if you go to a lot of MS events, drug events, they have that cooling cloth there, and it is polyester and it's sponge. It's like a sponge, and you put water into it, roll it up, and put it in the refrigerator, and bring it everywhere you go. I should have brought it out here, there, uh, but I didn't. I didn't. All right. Josiana talks about refrigeration water. Does anybody know what the rules? I'm thinking the plastic bottled water. There was a warning that you shouldn't put bottled water in the freezer because it can cause cooling tower. Yes, and it's always good to see. We've got people chatting here. I know on this on Facebook. We've got uh, most of our usuals on YouTube, and then on Facebook, there's a number of people watching there. Cheryl, what do you do? Debbie, what do you do as far as heat, and you find yourself in emergency there. What do you do? What are we to do? Because heat is a problem there. Also, if you get overheated one day, how are you the next day? Uh, are you back? Do you bounce back the next after sleep, or do you not? Does it beat you up? Do you feel like you had surgery there? Raymond talks a little bit. It's hard, but always a good idea to have a buddy. So Raymond recommends that to go to a place if you're in the heat, or do nothing in the heat unless you've got like a lifeguard, unless you got a buddy that can rescue you. That is wonderful advice. That's smart. That's smart. You know what? And Dennis just chimed in that a good way to do when you get overheated is to go into, say, I should have gone into Lowe's bathroom and put my head underneath the faucet. The air conditioning was going on, and in Lowe's it was cooler there. And once you get wet, and I talked about pouring water over from my warm water. Once you're wet, air conditioning now is more meaningful. So that is another thing. Um, by the way, most everybody on YouTube that is here is on Ocrevez. Most everybody. I is anybody on rituximab? Jimbo, Galvin. I love it because you guys on YouTube are starting to know each other enough to welcome each other there. Uh, Diana puts ice pack on her legs and to cool her down. There's just, and these are just certain suggestions that each person can get. from each other. Now my next question is, all right, who's on rituximab? And it's because everybody seems to be on Ocrevus. There's one uh, Lemtrada and one let's see, Abagio. There's two people who don't believe in medications at all, don't believe in drugs. I'm a believer in drugs, and the reason why is that I've had active aggressive MS. Oh, Jimmy, you have. I'm putting that down. Oh, you're already. How long, Jimmy, have you been on rituximab? I think that's great. Finally, I've got somebody else on rituximab. On rituximab. Where do you live? Rituxan. Where do you live? How old are you, Jimmy? And what type of MS do you have? Becky, I love you, Becky. I'm so glad you're here. I know it's very strange, but a lot of people on the YouTube will not use Facebook, and a lot of you people on Facebook won't look at the YouTube. So I've managed to get the phone to do Facebook Live, and I know the forum all began with live on YouTube there, and it was a branch off my regular channel because you guys know I've been doing. Uh, let's see, where do you live, Becky? I've been doing videos once a week, every week for over I think 9 years. Uh, but excuse the fact that I'm still using a very old picture. Jennifer, you haven't been here in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I haven't seen you. You're on Ocrevus. I know you also live in Maryland, but how old are you, Jennifer, and what type of MS do you have there? In fact, I know. Jennifer, I'm glad you're here. Becky, you're my neighbor. I should know that. I don't know why I didn't. All right, Becky is in Maryland, and you have secondary progressive. If do you have that or primary progressive there? And how old are you, Becky? All right, Rituxan. Oh, you've been on Rituxan. Richard talks about being on Rituxan for 3 years. I have, I think it's been 4 for me there, but I'm not a detail person. You guys on this YouTube channel, you probably could tell me how long I've been on. I know there are some people who are great at memory there. Oh, you're also all right. Um, Jennifer, let's see, Jennifer. I thought Jennifer. Donner. Anybody? All right, 63. All right, Becky. You know what? I apologize for my mother-in-law's dog. That she passed away. We got her. That is the miniature schnauzer. There, Donner. Enough. Please forgive me on that. Yeah. That didn't come from me. That was somebody over there. Anyway, okay, so we were talking about medication, Ocrevus. Jimmy's on rituximab. How old are you, Jimmy? What type of MS do you have? And where do you live? Jennifer, you live in Arizona, and I thought you were in Lusby in Maryland. Jennifer, I know you stopped by. Terrier. Marrier with a terrier. You guys know I have a golden retriever, and you know that I've trained him to get my mail, and he's my service dog. By the way, he doesn't bark. He's been in many of these videos where he's right beside me. There. The terrier greets people at the door, greets the mailman. It's not good for MS nerves. Let's see. Now we're halfway into this, and we have 30 more minutes there. Are there any questions or anybody on either Facebook or YouTube that has a specific question about dealing with a specific symptom that we can everybody on the YouTube channel and everybody's watching live on Facebook can jump in and answer specific questions. I had a problem that you guys did a great job answering. What happens when you are in emergency? that is funny. What happens when you have emergency because of heat? There and on Tuesday we talked a little bit about emergencies caused by bladder. What do you do there? All right, Jennifer, where you? Yeah, I know where you live. Jennifer is 44, and Jennifer, do you have relapsing remitting? 44. I think, yeah, if you were diagnosed a year and a half ago, there chances are you will have relapsing remitting. Now, all right, so because there isn't a question there, I'm going to ask, what is everyone's first symptom? I guess, yeah. Jennifer just confirmed she has relapsing remitting MS. That's just the way this disease goes. The first 10 years from diagnosis or from your first symptoms, you tend to be, you have relapsing remitting. Only after you've lived with the disease a little while do they decide whether you have primary progressive. After 10 years, most MS goes into chronic progressive. Secondary, it's the second part of the first part of the disease there. With MS, relapsing remitting is you have an attack, very much like a stroke, and to fight back to get your abilities back. So you tend it's picture a wavy lawn. You tend to get everything back, or if you don't get everything back, you get 99% back. What ends up happening is after you've had it for 10 years, you may have an attack, and all of a sudden you don't get it all back. When you have MS and your nerve is stripped, I'll give you an example. All right, see this mouse is plugged into the laptop. All right, now what happens is that we have maverick white blood cells. And I'm going to talk about Ocrevus and Rituxan because I think it's important to know when it's time for your next infusion. It's a monoclonal antibody. Now with MS, these white blood cells will attack your the insulation on the wire. And when that happens, Donner, come here. Come here. When that happens, it's not as effective there the now you've got little holes in this wire there, and it's plugged into the laptop or your brain, right? So your brain is at the other end. This here is your legs. Give you an idea. And what happens is when you have relapsing remitting, you have little nicks in the wire, but those nicks don't cause uh, it to affect the mouse very extreme, just like MS. I'm getting warm. That's why I'm not making much sense there. It doesn't allow for or this mouse will be is pretty effective when you're relapsing remitting. Once this has you've had it for 10 years, the nerve has been exposed long enough there, it will sometimes it breaks. It just doesn't, it's not as effective anymore. So I'm not gonna talk, like I'm gonna leave it for Monday to make sense because I'm getting warm. Ice water, right? Uh, so I'm gonna let you guys. Again, I'm the host of MS Live. We've got enough people here that that can. All right, Jane remembers she pulled over on the freeway crying because she could no longer drive anymore. And Jane lives in Idaho, in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Beautiful, beautiful Idaho. Let me make sure I'm remembering. And but she pulled on the side of the road and started crying because she couldn't drive anymore. Our body was broken. That's the way I felt when I was at Lowe's yesterday, walking out to the car. I thought, there is no way I can get these plants into the car. I am so broken there. I remember being in a grocery store, and when you hit the wall, every single person with MS without a walker has stood in line to the point of not having it in them to stand anymore and has sat on the floor. It sat down, much to the horror of the cashier and everybody watching there. It You sit down, you do what you have to do. You just stop and drop there, and that happened to me there, and it happened to Jane. Uh, Jane, fantastic for pulling on the side of the road and calling your husband because you hit the wall. I was in a restaurant, or not a restaurant, a grocery store, walking through, and I got so hot and tired and I was in the butter and milk section. I sat on the end of the refrigerator there, and now this isn't racist. This is because she had this great accent, and she was black and a big black woman, and I needed this kind of love. She looked at me, and I'm sitting there with my hand on the card, and she says, "You done. You done." And I just started laughing. I said, "Oh my gosh, I done. You're right. I done. I done. I love this woman. You know, but it's almost like God sent her there to say, "You done." I needed to hear that. Somebody validated. Yes, matter of fact, I was done there. Kudos to you, Jane, for pulling on the side of the highway and calling your husband to get him to pick you up there. Diane talks about being diagnosed. They thought her diagnosis was Lyme's disease. And that's interesting because a number of people who have had Lyme disease and caught it real late have similar symptoms to people who have MS. There, I've being from South Jersey or going to high school there in South Jersey, I had Lyme's twice. I had the bullseye, the pain, and everything. Uh, and they gave me, I think it was tetracycline that reduced the Richter levels. So I often would go back and tell my neurologist, test me for Lyme's disease because this is an MS, this is Lyme's there, and they test it, and the Lyme's are always down there. So it's not, unfortunately, it's not Lyme's disease. Also, my 30th birthday, went to a bar with a bunch of friends and drank too much, and I was staggering, and I'm telling everybody who would lay eyes on me and look at me in disgust, look, I'm not drunk, I have MS there. And my girlfriend, who's trying to get me out on one side, looks at me and looks at her, don't listen to her, she's drunk. I was drunk. I don't drink anymore because the cerebral cortex is numb without drinking anything. Oh, it's a lie. I'm lying. Forgive me, Lord. I'm lying. There, I love a good red wine. There. By the way, just got a Columbia Crest blend there, and that is really good. A red blend. I like red wine. There. So it's good. All right. So Raymond, Diana, it's all fun. It's all fun. You know what? With MS, if we don't laugh, if we don't support each other, if we don't give each other ways to manage life with this disease, there, if we didn't have a way to get out of ourselves and live life despite having MS, which is, and is all encompassing. It's so all encompassing. We label ourselves warriors there. I can't label myself a warrior because to me, a warrior is somebody who signs up to fight against a cause. I didn't sign up for MS, and it's not my fault. There, uh, Diana. Next time I get up to Coeur d'Alene, it's got to be beautiful up there. You know what? You're not in Coeur d'Alene. Diana is in Gilbert. You know what? You obviously have a pool. Diana's got a pool. So party at Diana's house there. Let's all get in the water and be. Is your pool in the shade, uh, Diana? What are your first? Okay. What are your first signs of MS there? Mine, before I was even diagnosed with MS, my first sign was uh, numb area, patches of, it's called paresthesia. All right. And what that is numb areas of skin. I played softball, and I went into the doctor to have plantar's wart taken off. It was a general practitioner, wonderful gentleman. He looked at me, or a woman. She says, it's hard. Your Air Force is, it's hard to get in to see me. Uh, Long time. Is there anything else wrong with you? And I was playing softball, second base. Pretty. I like that there. I thought I had a pinched nerve in my shoulder because this arm was numb there, and one of the things that I said, it's growing pains, because my mom used to call them growing pains there. One So growing pains, numb patches, it's normal. I said, I know it's normal. Maybe it's a pinched nerve. And this doctor looked at me like I was from Mars and said, it's not normal. People don't have pinched nerves where their arm goes numb, only on top of the skin in one area there. And it hurt to touch. Um, it hurt when clothes brushed up against it there. So it was bad that way. So they sent me in, did an MRI, did the spinal tap, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I was diagnosed with textbook classical MS in 1993. Uh, but they traced it back. It wasn't my first symptoms. My first symptoms was the numb patches. And let me think, what else? Then the one that my cousin, who's an ophthalmologist, he finally came in and said I had optic neuritis, and he said not everybody with MS gets optic neuritis, but everybody with optic neuritis ends up with MS. He said that. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not, again, disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, neither is anyone else here. So take what you hear. If there's any medication or anything, and go to your doctor. Um, if you're on Ocrevus and rituximab, again, I hope like crazy your doctor. There's a blood test. It's CD19 and 20. C is in Charlie, D is in Delta, 19 and 20, and that is a measurement of yeah, how the rituximab and Ocrevus kills those two CD clusters, those CD cell clusters. There tells that it tells that cell to attack the insulation on the nerve, and that's why we don't walk. We all walk the same, by the way. So anybody who knows is married to anyone with MS oh, Suzanne, thank you for sharing that. Suzanne on Facebook talked about starting with optic neuritis. All right, I'm putting you down, Suzanne. Susan. Oh no, it's Suzanne. Suzanne. Suzanne S. I'm going to put Facebook. Facebook. Let's see. How old are you? Oh, you have SPM, and to Sabri. I loved it when being on to Sabri. And where do you live, Susan? And you start with neuritis. That was my second episode and they put back up in '93. They put you in the hospital and they did an IV push of steroids there, and that was really that restored my vision. I remember having pain. So now you can look in both eyes and see both optic nerves. They're a little pale there. So that's what I wanted to tell you there. Real quick, Suzanne, where do you live there? In Tisabri. I was on Tisabri for about 6 years. I loved Tisabri. Mylan. All right, what about Jimmy is on Facebook and he talks about Mylan. You're 59 years young in Michigan. All right, thank you. All right, let's see. Michigan. Oh, my doppelganger is here, Paige. Hi, Paige. God bless you, Paige. She is my twin, although she's prettier and younger, I have to tell you, I know you're sitting wherever you are. You're sitting there, Paige, and you're watching, and you feel like you're looking in the mirror. Paige has a life. In fact, she would work with children at the same church I went to for a while. I go to a different church now. But anyway, so Paige is watching there. Kia, that's fantastic. All right, I will have to. All right, you're in. All right, to Sabri. All right, Q Black. Q Black, death is Raymond there. Raymond remembers that his first symptom was when he was a little kid, and his vision went static. Uh, what do you please describe? Yeah, how old you were, Raymond, when your vision went static, and what exactly does that mean? Diana talks. Hi, Kia. Kia, this is I'm on YouTube on the left and Facebook on the right. There, this is forum. Um, Kia, let's see. If you want to be on my prayer list, go to message me. And what I need to know is I need to know how old you are, the type of MS you have, where you live, and what medication you're on. Uh, uh, oh, somebody sent me a heart on Facebook. I like that. I have a question I really need to ask. All right, Jane or Jennifer has a question. All right. If her question is, if you keep having pseudo relapses, do you think it's detrimental? And can it cause progression? All right. Again, if you keep having pseudo attacks, what are pseudo attacks? Pseudo attacks are fake attacks. They're attacks that aren't real attacks. They're not new damage. Think about it like this, and this is way you, if you, Jennifer, this is the way I see. If you wake up and all of a sudden you feel worse, but you don't have new symptoms. There's nothing new that's happening. Like today I woke up and from my thighs down, I can't feel my legs at all. Can't feel them, which makes balance impossible there. So if I don't have that, have my legs been numb before? The answer is yes. That's not new, a new symptom. A new symptom is uh, all of a sudden I wake up, like this happened. This was my last attack. I woke up and I was so dizzy I couldn't see straight, and it's because I was having a catastrophic attack. And I'll talk a little bit about why. Actually, you guys know I don't like talking about me as much as is that attack was new. I never had a symptom that I didn't know which one was up if I closed my eyes. In fact, you'll notice, like neurologists have you close your eyes and stand. And the more you move, right, the more you have brain damage, which isn't a bad thing. Remember, we can live with brain damage there. Let's see. So, do these pseudo attacks mean that you're going to have worse disability in the future? The answer to that question, 100% is no. Um, the pseudo attacks there can be brought on by stress. Maybe you had a very stressful night. Maybe you have your temperature's elevated because you've been out in the sun, or you're doing a video right now and it's 90 degrees on the porch. I don't have the ceiling fan on. I'm starting to think. So these are all reasons why your core temperature would be up, would be higher, and you would feel more disabled. Like yesterday, going from Lowe's with plants out to the car, there my temperature was so high that it was like I could die. It's a pseudo. I felt that. Um, Jennifer is honing in on her question. She says she asks that because her job causes pseudo exasperation effect. You obviously have a stressful job, uh, and you have a stressful job. Again, I had a neurologist who had diagnosed me in 1996. Tell me, live every day as if it were your last. Live big there. And Jennifer, why are you going to Southwest Florida with MS there? Unless you have a pool, that you can get in every day. I love you, Kia. Kia says, take a minute and turn on that fan. Well, I love you, Kia. I thank you. Thank you for thinking about me, because I'm thinking about you guys. Southwest, Suzanne moving to Southwest. Suzanne, I great. You're going from Michigan to Florida. Florida. That is okay. Kia, God bless you. Kia's looking out for me. She said turn on the fan, and that was a great idea. Yeah, love you more. love you guys so much. They don't. People don't know how difficult it is to live life despite having this disease, because we are no tattoos that say MS. I'll tell people if they ask, and little kids will often ask, why do you walk like that? And it's not my fault any more than it's their fault. There, why do you have a fancy walker? And I tell them, look, I have MS, multiple sclerosis. But I'll tell you what, I'm better for it. I'm absolutely better for it. For those of you I went to high school with, you'll be, you, I remember myself being different than I am now, humbled and publishing books. I often thought I had the answer. You had to eat organic. You had to eat plenty of fruits. All these things that are advised with diet, nutrition, and exercise is has everything to do with how healthy people should eat and live in order to make the most of their bodies. There. So it's true. Well, LK, LK, what is your name? Yeah, LK. She gets, or LK gets, has problems when the temperature is above 99 degrees. Uh, LK gets paralyzed from the waist down. You know what? All right, let me talk a little bit. Go to support system. Uh, Suzanne, go to the videos support, or text me, not text me, message me through Facebook, and I'll send you on that. I'm on my second marriage myself. There, first marriage, he used to tell me I hate sickness, and that was God's present to him. He hated sickness, but I was diagnosed 3 months after getting married to him. He hated sickness, but guess what? You hate sickness. I hate sickness. Don't. Everybody hates sickness. You to insinuate that I like, or any of us like to be sick, like to have side effects, like to not be able to see or walk, or like to have emergency bathroom calls. We like that is terrible. So with you moving to Southern Florida, um, find it Vani. LK is Vani. Vani. What a pretty name. LK. I have to. LK is Vani. Hi, Vani. What type of MS do you have? You know what? And it is clear that people with MS, it tends to be, if a man has MS and is married, that the wife tends to stick with the husband who has MS. If it's the opposite way, and within the marriage, the wife is diagnosed with MS, they're hopefully you're equally yoked, and your husband takes his vow seriously, but it, according the statistics, are not likely. Hi, Daniel. You're slow to get here, but at least you're here. It would have been so. I think we have a lot. Oh, you know what? I have a friend. All right, Suzanne, I will tell the story, even though our time is pretty much up. I have a friend who is a paraplegic, and she goes around in a wheelchair. And I will tell you that I will tell you. I'm gonna put the dogs out front, out front on Tuesday. But I will tell you that again, we don't lean on our spouses, we don't lean on our mother, and we don't lean on our father and our neighbors and our friends, and we don't. People don't have to understand us for us to be successful with MS. It's important that we hold each other up. Because if I mentioned this, I came back with my Johns Hopkins supersonic MRI that it would be really fun to be able to trace where little white chicken pox affect certain areas of the body. And I thought that would be fun because I divorced myself from it being me. So I asked my husband, "You want to sit and figure out why I am the way I am?" He said, "No, there's no way he was going to look at the MRI because he couldn't imagine his wife being sick. Because I may walk with a walker, but I don't complain. And I don't like talking about myself because your story is more important. Uh, it really is. So I want you to know that. All right, who can I get to look at the MRI? My friend Judy will look at my. She's got MS. She'll look at my MRI. Shoot, I could publish it for all of you guys because I know you'd probably have fun looking at that. Remember, you can't go to Home Depot to buy bread. In the same way, your spouse understanding how difficult it is for you to get up and get another glass of cool water doesn't that person's not going to get it there. So anyway, God bless you. Please subscribe. I pray for all of you. I prayed my words. I prayed your words. I prayed for you guys today. Inspire you, uh, help you manage with this disease. And again, next Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Kia, you are true blue. Kia, I love you, Kia. But anyway, please subscribe to the YouTube channel unless you don't like to cross YouTube and Facebook. And then, so Facebook, I will next Tuesday from 11 to 12, I'll be back on. And until then, now Tuesday, we will talk a little bit. I think the topic should be MRIs. Give me an idea. What are some good topics for us to talk about? What are good topics? MRIs and Tesla. What does that mean? Let me see. All right. And the majority of us here are on Ocrevus. The majority of us there have secondary progressive MS, and the mean age, we go from ages 30 up to 76. So, and that's a lot of people there. If you want to be on my prayer list, if you want me to pray for you, there, message me. What I need is your name, your age, the type of MS you have, where you live, and the medication you are at. And I love you. Please subscribe, dear Heavenly Father. God bless everybody who's watching me right now. Allow them to be comforted. Allow them to be fed and inspired, and and carry on, Lord. Allow us all to be instruments of your peace. There, in Jesus' name, I give thanks. Amen. Please subscribe. Go to msfrontiers.org and see the results. If you want to send me an email, my email is Dulci, DULCIJEAN, at gmail.com. Again, DULCIJEAN at gmail.com. God bless you and keep going back. And God bless you.
Hi, everybody.